there is such a thing as social activism burnout. There are times when you just want to pull the covers over your head and say, not today. I don't want to have to help another person. I don't want to have to cope with having to help another person.
According to Statistics Canada, visible minorities were more likely than their white counterparts to report poor mental health at 27.8% versus 22.9%. Myrna Lashley and her daughter Renata Betts have been advocating for social issues impacting the Black community for decades. They're now speaking out about the impact social activism can have on mental health.
We've been working for so long, generation after generation, just to have people acknowledge us and to make room at the table so that we can express ourselves. And now that we have a seat at the table, we are still having to twist ourselves into knots to be heard. And it's frustrating because you think, well, okay, you've invited me to the conversation. Great. I'm going to sit here as an equal and you will hear me as an equal and my words will have equal weight. And no, it's still not the case. And it's almost like like you're sitting in some sort of illusion. I know I'm at the table. I see you are all around me. And yet I still am not having my words do not have the same effect as yours do.
It's almost as though there's a divide where people who are above the line, the dominant group, think, well, that's your problem and you should deal with it and you should teach us. When, to be frank, it's not our problem. We didn't create it. It's something that's been thrust upon us that we have to deal with, but we also have to protect the fragility of the people to whom we're explaining it in order to get them to listen to us. So
it is exhausting, it is discouraging, and yet I don't have an alternative. We have no choice but to continue to fight, to teach, to try and be heard. And it's something that we have to pass on to the next generation, the next generation, the next generation, which means that there are other lessons that we are not passing on because we have to pass on this lesson of you have to keep fighting.
When asked what advice she would give to social activists at the time of a crisis, like, for example, the death of George Floyd, this is what Renata had to say.
If you're angry, say you're angry. If you're scared, say you're scared. If you want to cry, cry. It's okay because it's a crisis situation and that's normal. That's how you get out all of those feelings so that you can get back to a place where you can deal with it calmly and more rationally.
For those struggling with mental health, it is important to reach out and get help. In Montreal, Fariha Naqvi-Mohamed, City News.
In 1 minute on City News.